So I'm going to show you how you can scrape using Scrapebox. Up until now I've been saying that I'm using Ahrefs, but I've just opened Scrapebox and I haven't actually used these functions for a while, but I've actually found that you can remove URLs containing or not containing certain entries. And what that means is that when we have a URL footprint, so not the actual text on a website, but the actual structure of the URL. For example, this one that I've got highlighted in the URL structure, it says /MediaWiki index.php user semicolon. What we can do with Scrapebox now is we can have a separate file that has segments, so URL segments. I've already showed you some of those in Footprint Factory, the folder paths and the file names. So what I can do is type in index.php, because I can see in my list that there's lots of index.php, so I'm going to save, and then with this list loaded in Scrapebox, remove filter, remove URLs not containing entries from, and then select this file, testing Scrapebox Wiki, and then I've gone from 66 to 58 URLs. So you can see that that works like a sewer filter for Ahrefs, but it sort of works retrospectively. It means you can't manage huge lists like you can with Ahrefs, but it does mean that you can work with a million URLs and then you can filter those afterwards. Okay, so I've sort of jumped the gun a bit here and I've shown you how to filter URLs in Scrapebox once you've scraped them, but the first thing you need to do is obviously get some proxies, and then secondly you can put your keywords in here. So I'm going to load this footprint list. That's the size of the file that I added, and you can see it's added keyword 1 onto all of them. Most people, I imagine, you won't want to have keywords. If you've got a big list like this, you'll just use the footprints, which is fine. But if you have a smaller footprint list, so a couple of thousand, then add some keywords, and also use different languages. So use 2 or 3 words from the most popular languages such as English, Spanish, German, French and Mandarin if you can. Okay, so that's basically the scraping process for Scrapebox. I've kind of done it backwards. So to start over and tell you the right order, you would first get your proxies. I do have a tutorial about how to do that. There will be a link in the PDF that takes you there. Don't worry about it, there's nothing to buy, it's just how to use Scrapebox to get free proxies. I won't cover it now. The second part is import your footprints. So you have your keywords first and then you use the merge button. Or you can just import the footprint list if you're not merging with keywords. And then after you've done scraping, then you would afterwards remove filter, remove duplicate URLs, and then after that remove URLs not containing entries from, and the entries file should contain all the paths that you got from FPF. So there should be a file containing that. Whatever you do, don't have a line that's just backslash, because if you do that then it's going to really mess up your results, because almost every URL has this in it. So don't use that, but everything else should be fine. And for Ahrefs users, then make sure you use your additive words, which is actually your footprints. You can see here that I've got 161,000 plus footprints. Just opening that was a bad idea, I shouldn't have done that. It's going to take ages for this to load. So don't load it into the program itself, you use the config files. So if I go into Ahrefs, use templates, and then you can see I've made 2 new files. One is the name of the platform, and this is the sieve filter. I'll open it up. See, these are all the different parts of the URLs that are acceptable. And then the second file will be the same name as this, but with an underscore and then AdWords. And you see this is my list of footprints that FPF made. So those are the 2 things you need for Ahrefs, and then you'll need to reload the program afterwards. Make sure you have your proxies loaded into the xproxy file first, and let me switch servers actually, because that's going to hang for a bit. Okay, so this is my other server. You can see that I've already started using FPF on other platforms such as Oxwall, which is a mainly do-follow platform. So when I have proxies in Ahrefs, I make sure that the auto refresh is off, that the timeout is up to 30, which is actually the maximum. If you try and set it higher, it won't save. Okay, so that's how you scrape using your footprint list. The next thing you need to do is import your list into a link builder.